me through it.
I guess that NewBee just don't want to get pushed down early on and like lose towers. They wanna probably get the game until like mid-late and win there when they ban those two heroes.
It is a strange ban. I'm trying to think why they're so afraid of it. I imagine IG has played it quite a bit, but it's not a hero that kind of like invokes.
In that sense, IG spend makes more sense because, as we said before, Sanking is a hero that Kaka has been playing 50% of his games.
I guess it looks like NewBee is this kind of patient team, but they're a little bit scared of getting pushed early. It's my take on it, at least with the Lycan and the DP ban, that they're a bit afraid of IG's early pushing price. I mean, Q is one of those players which you see, he sometimes goes for these type of pushing lineups where you lose really fast. So that could be one reason.
I mean, there was also the comments when Ana was choosing Alchemist that one of the best ways to deal with an Alchemist is to push the towers down early and deny Alchemist safe opportunities to farm. I mean, do you think NewBee is trying to just ban two push heroes and continue the theme of removing push focus?
They could even last pick that Alchemist, like you said, for SCC.
I'm not sure how much of a fan I am of this Lich like anymore. He's been
the Lich opener is getting figured out.
Yeah, people have been like trying. They have been getting to understand how to play against it. Like NS is super good to roam against it, and we've been talking about that as well. That Lich isn't a hero that moves a lot, so they're gonna see like which lane that Lich is on, and which lanes that are strong, and which lanes that are weak. And NS will go to these weak lanes.
What hero do you guys think Baboka might turn to keep track of this Night Stalker in the early game?
Is there any hero who can kind of fight him that early on? I feel there's no Sanking.
Ogre Magi.
Ogre though?
You don't really. That was like a almost a joke.
Right. I don't know. Maybe potentially we could see that Monkey King again.
Yeah, just scout him out in the trees.
Those Invis heroes are not. I feel they're not the best up against the Night Stalker. Potentially Earth Spirit or Monkey King.
Yeah, could still go for the Ricky. I do like Lich and Invis heroes together. It's really nice to get incredibly deep wards, especially if you decide to put your Lich in the offlane. You can actually ward the pole camps or body block them with the invisible hero quite easily, and that really helps Lich in lane. You know, Lich will pull back the lane with deny, but it oftentimes does get negated if the enemy team pulls a creep wave into their.
That has been one of the problems before when I'm seeing people run Lich on the offlane, that they don't block these camps because then it doesn't matter for them. They're just gonna pull and get even more experience.
You're investing so much in trying to win a lane with Lich, and when you allow that to happen, you're actually losing the lane.
Yeah.
Gaming's turn to ban.
NewBee banning Alchemist and Earth Spirit. Legion Commander. We saw S4 in the previous match do absolute wonders, slaying Outworld Devour again and again and again.
These two bans are telling me that they definitely want to protect their mid puck. Banning out the Earth Spirit Earth Spirit's one of the better heroes, especially for Baboka up against a puck with that instant silence, as well as the Alchemist is a pretty solid mid laner up against puck. You can just go PMS and tank and push the wave and farm all the creeps and get super farmed.
It's interesting you bring up because for so much of the start of this tournament, we talked about, the early puck pick is a very flexible, tricksy one. And it would be interesting to see NewBee just picking pucks straight up.
Well, yeah, it's a high priority hero, and that's one of the strengths of it is that it is versatile, so it's, you don't have to be worried about picking up in your first two picks. If the enemy team picks a bunch of heroes that are awesome versus puck, maybe you shift him to the offlane and you give SCCC another hero that he can dominate on.
Yeah, his name's a rough one for casters, huh?
And here's like, again, we see this trend with opponent picks Lich and you pick Crystal Maiden, because Lich can't really move around so much.
Yeah, so you find that farm in the jungle, sort of, and you kind of negate the denied creeps by getting more farm on a support hero.
This is a great example of how the meta develops over TI, over this week while we're here.
Maiden looked like one of the worst heroes coming into TI, but now it's actually been picked a couple of games and actually made sense and working out well for the teams.
I'm certainly coming around to the idea of Crystal Maiden up against Lich, kind of taking back. I thought about maybe doing some junglers against Lich, but they might just be a little too slow.
They're okay as well, I think.
We got the classic.
They can pressure.
I would love to see some junglers. I love watching Chen and Nench play.
Oh yeah, here is Baboka Monkey King.
He's going to be super tanky running around with ice armor.
And is he going for that The Battle Fury build?
Oh, most. Wait, no, they're trying to win this game. He's probably not going to do that.
Gaming's turn.
Ursa Warrior, strong laner up against Legion Commander.
Yeah, the one thing about this matchup though is that I feel if this Legion Commander, if he does opt for boots earlier on, I think he can kind of sustain. And I'm also curious how it goes if there's a Lich in that lane.
Yeah.
If the Legion gets Frost Armor, it might not be as easy for this Ursa.
Also, still plenty of options. I'm sure SEC would definitely not mind taking this Ursa to the mid lane if IG decides to pick a melee mid laner.
NewBee kind of lack a little bit of tower damage, I feel. What do you think they're gonna... They have their mid laner last... What?
They could still...
Oh, certainly lacking building damage.
Yeah.
That's always a concern when you have an Ursa on your team.
Exactly, that's always...
Generally,
it
you
really
want
is.
like one of your supports to be a Jakiro or a Rasa that can help supplement your lack of building push.
Are you quite sure that the puck is offering them, I guess?
I have no idea.
I guess so.
Could go anywhere. They have last pick, right?
Yeah, they need something to sort of tie together. Could be a Prophet, but can be tough against the Legion sometimes.
I mean, would you describe that NewBee's lineup currently just has a lot of power for picking off individual heroes?
NewBee's lineup, I think they have a strong early mid game or strong early game. After post laning stage, the Ursa is pretty strong in the lanes. Maiden kind of secures the lane for Puck, and then they want to run around and get a lot of kills.
Yes. When Ursa and Puck get their blink, that's going to be go time for NewBee. Incredibly strong mid game, I think, is where
They're
they'll
gonna
excel.
like, try to get the Roche like early on and get the Aegis on Ursa and then try to take the game from there.
It's going to be really important for IG to win the laning phase. They invested a lot in this Lich pick with their first pick. It's important that they don't get too behind early, or else the mid game will be incredibly difficult.
Yeah, I feel like this Night Stalker's rotations, they're going to be very important in this early game. See if he can get kills. And if he doesn't, he will
Kaka's
fall
been playing
behind.
very well this tournament. However, Vaboka, if there's anybody to keep him in check, it's going to be him. Fourth pick Venomancer now for IG.
Yeah, how does he fit in with the rest of these?
More team fight, more vision, which is nice. Being able to plant those plague wards everywhere you go, behind you, to the side, in the trees. That's going to help you keep track of Night Stalker and everybody else when your vision is reduced. It's very easy to walk by the Roche pit and drop a plague ward in there, and you're totally aware of when Roshan spawns and whether or not Ursa's trying to sneak it.
It's also one of those heroes that's it's kind of annoying for Ursa to play against this Venomancer, because if you at any point if you get kind of slow galed, if you can't you kind of can't get out of that slow when these plague wards, they might cancel your blink dagger.
Pretty annoying for Puck too.
Yeah.
Being a super mobile
Definitely.
hero, wanting to constantly blink
Even
around.
even for Night Stalker.
Last ban's coming up here. NewBee with the last pick, potentially banning something that they are worried might complete IG's lineup.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned that NewBee really needs some sort of tower hitter, some sort of pusher, since all of these heroes are so good against other heroes, not as much against the objectives. What about Invictus Gaming? What's the real piece missing for them?
It's Burning's here, right? Unless it's a carry Venomancer.
Yeah, it could be Venomancer.
I like Furion a whole lot for NewBee.
Yeah,
by
that's
way.
the one I
Just
was
wanted
thinking
to
about as well.
put that
Up
in
against the Lich.
We'll see if it gets banned. Probably likely.
DK could work as well for NewBee, maybe.
Anti-mage ban to ensure that Burning can't get on that AM.
The Burning AM. Let's see. They probably what do they need? Their team fight's pretty solid. There's not a ton of team fight coming out from NewBee, so they don't have to keep that in check. They're lacking a little building push as well. Venomancer will build right click and have some plague wards helping him out. Hit the
Legion
buildings.
eventually kind of skills a little bit into
He
it.
can, but generally I think he wants to stay in the back and protect his teammates from initiation, or find a duel for himself. Probably for Burning, maybe. I mean, what's good against Ursa? How do we feel about Sven?
Sven could work. Can be pretty fine, I think.
I mean, in looking at Invictus Gaming's lineup, it sounds like it's, again, somewhat well-rounded.
Ember Spirit ban. You said IG well-rounded. It's hard to say because lineups are so dependent on your opponent's lineup as well. It's really hard to say. Okay, having heroes that fit all these categories isn't always a good thing. There's some games where you want to lean more towards having more vision, or you want to lean towards having more team fight, and that is totally dependent on what your opponents decide to pick for themselves. And here with the PL, they're picking up a hero with illusions, something Ursa struggles with, something Night Stalker struggles with. Crystal Maiden.
DK might be a hero for NewBee here.
DK. Yeah, let's see. Mid laner most likely going to be Venomancer for IG.
They can do both, I guess, depending on what NewBee picks. So it's still quite open for IG. But I agree. I think the DK could be very good for NewBee as well as the Prophet, depending on.
It's hard for IG to kill that DKS.
Yeah, they want building push and they want something to deal with illusions.
Yeah. DK does that quite well once he gets to level 12. And even the Breathe Fire, it's pretty strong. PL doesn't do that much in the early game before he gets Diffusal, and later on DK will have Splash to deal with it.
Then you can follow up on either of these two silences from Puck or Night Stalker and land a good Dragon Tail onto PL.
And IG don't really have too much burst damage.
No, they really don't.
Yeah, it's actually very slow.
Very long, drawn-out fights from IG as they're going to be kiting around this Ursa. But they have the tools to do so. Maybe might struggle.
Yes. Sniper.
Yes. Yes, this hero is great against Venomancer. You stay incredibly far away. You can shoot down the wards, and you don't have to worry about getting hit by that Poison Nova if you keep your distance.
Yeah, Sniper's only problem this game, I guess, is the Monkey King. But it is very nice. It's nice to play Sniper with Night Stalker. You can kind of position yourself in the back lines with full vision.
So keep track of these fours and see what kind of presence they have on the early game. I would expect IG to win early, but NewBee will do their best to sustain.
You've heard us gushing about the Chinese Dota scene throughout the entire main event, and it's time for two all-star teams to duke it out in the winners semifinal to discover who will be the first winners finalist at TI7. It's Invictus Gaming versus NewBee.
10 seconds remaining.
Thank you very much, Day9. And indeed, this is going to be absolutely incredible. We've got these two teams here in the upper bracket. IG, NewBee, the picks are out. NewBee finishing with the SCCC Sniper. I mean, the panel seemed to like it. You saw
Peter was happy. Peter was super happy. He's been waiting for that hero for quite a while, it seems like. I'm pretty in agreement, too. I like overall what NewBee's got. They've got a good vision heroes to track down the Monkey King. It's all about the case. If the Sniper is able to survive in the laning phase, though, I think the Monkey King can actually punish very heavily with the Veno if he steps out of position a lot of the times. So we'll see how they're going to be able to make these two drafts work versus each other. IG's has a good amount of team fight. NewBee's is lacking a little bit on that department. So as long as they pull out in the lanes, they get those early blinks on the Ursa, the Puck, they should be good to go versus what IG's got.
And we saw a few bans targeted towards Burning's hero. At the end of the day, fifth pick, he gets himself the Phantom Lancer. Again, looking towards IG's side as well.
They don't really have good ways for the illusions. Of course, once the Sniper starts to get online, it can be a problem for him. But the Ursa does not deal well versus illusions, just like the panel mentioned. So, as we've usually been talking about, it's a lot on the floors this game again. Kaka being able to match the movements of the Monkey King all over the place. And we'll see what Baboka is able to make happen. Is he going to snipe the Courier? That's usually what I like seeing from the Monkey Kings with that Mischief, being able to hide behind towers.
I mean, that really is the thing, as we heard. You know, Peter, not a big fan of the Battle Fury Monkey King build. We'll see how Baboka does want to rocket this game. And it's interesting to see this Monkey King here on the main stage, because he's definitely a hero that some teams, they absolutely love.
Faith gets caught by the Gale. That's a first blood.
That is a first blood indeed. Who's going to be able to take it? We'll see which member of IG says it's his. Burning wants it. Burning gets it. Burning with the first blood.
Good start. That unexpected smoke right away. 5-man smoke. So we have KP in the puck offlane, and he's been playing a ton of it. So it's really up to him, too, to set the pace for his team, because he is their big team fighter, as like we've been mentioning a lot for NewBee, and he's in the offlane. So as long as he doesn't get shut down, it's really important for NewBee. So Kaka going to have to be moving between that mid and that bottom lane quite a lot, but that's the thing is, too, he's playing versus like Lich and Legion Commander. They might even commit like a tri-lane toward top to pressure the Ursa, so Kaka's going to have to distribute his movements very effectively.
On a KP down, he's going to try and see if he can get the rune. He's going to look for it, and he gets it. Nicely done there by KP as NewBee secure 3 of the 4 bounty runes. Sending a little bit of the financial damage done from giving up that first blood. We'll see, as you say, these matchups that we're going to have. KP on the bottom lane.
So they did get a D ward, right? Yeah, okay. So the Ursa, they killed the one ward that was blocking the camp, so they're going to at least have the way to pull one of the camps back. But yeah, that one hard camp, as we see, is blocked by the sentry ward still. So stacking the pull and being able to pull it will be one of the resources to get the lane away from where the Lich Legion Commander pull it back constantly. And yeah, as we expected, Kaka starts toward bottom, or toward mid to assist the Sniper, and Baboka turns into a Courier and tries to start zoning out KP with that Jingo Mastery.
I mean, that's certainly going to be the thing, you know, talking about KP and this reliance on him to pull off big plays in the team fights and look to get things going. for the most part of it, it's quite a safe game for the puck, isn't it? There's not that much catch from IG until they get sort of this blink dagger on XXS, an extra few points of the boundless strike. KP's going to feel pretty free jumping around wherever he wants to in the fray.
Yeah, I mean, their actual only AoE/stun is boundless strike, and that's it. It's chain frost, mini stun, and then the duel, which is not really a stun, it's a disable, and it's only a single target.
Mid lane at the moment, as Triple C, 6 for 5 against the 4 for 1, so coming out on top, especially in these denies, making sure that he has the edge in this matchup.
They both have high kill potential on each other. If the Monkey King rotates in or if the Night Stalker move in, a Void plus a couple shrapnels can easily bring down the Veno. Same thing with if Baboka goes for the tree dance and is able to find a movement onto the Sniper, but Sniper should be able to keep the wave back decently. So it should be a pretty favorable matchup for SCCC in this mid lane. Baboka has to spend his resources bottom since he doesn't want this puck to get a free start.
And that's certainly happened. KP has only got himself the 1 CS at the moment, whereas Burning is, like SCCC, finding all the farm that he wants at the moment. It's not causing too many issues. Of course, once there's a few levels on KP, this magical burst will become a little more annoying for Burning to have to deal with down on this bottom lane.
Yeah, and they've got the CM aura that we were talking about. This Faith just sitting in the jungle, constantly doing that to match up versus the Lich. Rather than he's helping the Ursa directly, he gets higher levels in the aura for his teammates. Kaka hates it up now, mid lane.
Yep, the Gale. If SCCC tries to dodge it, it's going to still hold him back. He still has the shrapnel going out, allowing Kaka to chase down, look for OP. OP pops the Ferret Fire, trying to keep himself alive. In fact, Kaka is going to be put off getting the kill. At the same time, mid. But Boka's coming with the rapid. He's got the boundless strike.
Oh, it just doesn't. Oh, it does
that was
down.
close. That was close. He said he knew that poison was still on him, so OP does end up getting the kill himself. That was a close one. And that was absolutely needed, though, that rotation from Baboka. If they lost OP there already, the CS in the mid lane, as we've been saying, going very much in favor of SCCC, having that slight edge, getting those max denies and such, as we see him come back into it. So a crucial rotation there from the Monkey King.
Clutch Fairy Fire. If SCCC had a Fairy Fire there, he may have actually survived too. So that's like a little bit of play of items that come out between the two. But as we mentioned, those roaming forests is the big ones to watch to where we're going to see the action happening. And now Baboka hits level 3, gets the Primal Spring up, able to start jumping around.
There's definitely potential on this top lane.
But they saw him. They did see him with the ward.
Out,
so Mugi is aware of this movement coming out.
Only with the CM really to back him up. So, as you say, knows it's there. Will have to play very careful for the time being on that top lane.
This is great for KP, now getting a 1v1 matchup as a puck. Gonna rush the phase boots to just give the constant harassment, and has the aura, as we mentioned. So he'll get a lot freed up, which is, I think, in my opinion, very important for NewBee, because he's, like we said, their big team fight hero.
Up top, Kaka makes the rotation. Creates this now tri-lane here on the safe lane of NewBee. Makes it a little easier for Mugi to feel a bit more confident.
We got the first night time setting in, so we'll see if Kaka's able to make some rotations work. But Baboka is going to try to keep vision of him and follow those movements as well. Get some wards out during that first night. Very important to track out the Night Stalker's movements. OP playing on the right side.
So this
might be able to get chased down here. Kaka just throws one harassment.
OP with this 2 points in the Gale makes it very hard for NewBee really to chase down there. If he gets the connection on either of NewBee's members, SCCC, it makes it very hard for them to dive him towards the tower.
That's the very important thing, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's exactly what happened the last time. He clipped SCCC with that Gale and he wasn't able to close the gap for the kill. So.
Kaka, level 3, still.
They're mirroring each other's movements identically.
Yeah, just following Baboka. Both heroes.
OP's pretty far stepped up now. We have the rotations coming in. The first shrapnel gets laid down.
Yeah, there's a CM on the way as well. OP will have reactions coming in form of TP backup, but is there anything they could do? Save them.
Stun off the mark.
It's not going to connect onto Kaka or anyone.
Oh, and Baboka's dead too.
They're going to lose him as well. Indeed, Faith's presence there with the Frostbite, setting up for a second kill for Kaka.
Shrapnel is very scary early on.
Yeah, 3 points in it.
21 denies on SCCC too. That's
he's owning this mid lane.
Extremely high. Almost a full level advantage over the Venomancer. Now they're getting some damage pressure too on the tower since that 5 minute cycle. The siege creep comes in with the Aquila armor bonus too. They can put a good amount of damage too. And OP TP's in and Kaka's still in the area.
Yeah, they could dive this if they see a chance. Kaka ready to play around with it. OP, he's going to be in a lot of trouble potentially. Does this time have Baboka, jumps forward with the Primal Spring, turns towards Faith. And the OP will be fine. Faith, almost certainly not so much. He has the Boundless Strike if he needs it, doesn't even require it. As Baboka will punish Faith this time round.
They really wanted to go, but SCCC did not have shrapnel charges yet. So that was a little bit of a over-ambitious play from them coming out.
Right up to
Top
top.
lane, though.
Kaka, they don't get the kill mid, but they immediately move up to the top lane and NewBee finds something else there instead.
First nighttime already going to be a super success for Kaka. Phase Boots finished up. 3 kills already, all 3 involved for him. It's like the panel said, Kaka's really been stepping it up this tournament. His Sanking performance has been impeccable, and now with this Night Stalker, he's proven to be very fearsome.
So there's bottom lane, burning. Only having to deal with KP has got pretty much free farm down on this safe lane. Top of the CS. He's hit the 6.
We're going to have the Soul Ring versus Soul Ring action coming out from KP versus Burning. One of the most new popular items that's kind of been coming out.
Oh, look at this smoke.
Very early smoke coming out from NewBee.
Bringing in Mugi, level 5 on the Earth, so they already want to try and get him involved in the fights. They're looking towards mid. Kaka ready to lead in. Baboka is there on the high ground. He's got the Boundless Strike onto the 3. He's going to jump forward, trying to hold them back, but he's almost certainly going to pay with his life as the Frostbite connects. Baboka's down. Faith will get taken down in response, but already IG, they've lost 2. Burning came in, but he has to doppelganger out of there.
They're continuing. KP makes the rotation over.
Oh, he's down as well. Double kill for Kaka. NewBee just taking full control of this middle lane.
That's perfect what KP just did there, too. He mirrored the movement. He knows Burning, like, as soon as he starts keeping, he's already making the move over.
This should be a free one unless Kaka can juke it out. He is going to, by the looks of it. Flaps himself across the trees. Kaka.
He puts the ward down so he gets the vision of
And
where
with the
Baboka
TP
is.
out, he's going to make it.
Good
Baboka,
aggressive deep ward, too.
Didn't have a clue of which way he went. Did not know where to throw out the Boundless Strike towards.
Making these quick active moves all over the map is exactly what the panel was mentioning, They have these heroes, they have the CM aura, so they always have mana to make those moves, and the Night Stalker lets it happen naturally, and they're playing versus a Lich. So Lich, that hero just cannot make those type of movements until you have Chain Frost. However, now, Q is 6, so he can start TPing into those engagements if they do dive under tower.
As we can see in terms of the net worth difference, despite these movements from NewBee and pressure on the mid lane, overall farming has not taken too much of a hit on the side of IG.
Yep.
KP on this bottom lane, Burning and Baboka in the neighborhood. Baboka ready to pounce. The orb now aggressively used. This is a good chance to go. KP
Oh, he jumped with chance?
past it there with the mind games, meaning that Baboka is nowhere near now to jump.
He's like, he was
get
pinging,
out.
KP was pinging behind himself like he thought that someone was actually there, so very good map read there coming out from KP.
KP now does also have backup in the neighborhood as Faith comes down to join him.
Mugi's gone to full jungle resort, finishes up in Iron Talon. Just that top lane is too obnoxious, he can't farm well versus it. At least like this, he's off the map, he's not showing, and he gives his Night Stalker the lane to get those levels. Kaka, I might as well give Kaka the levels at this point, he's been making all the right moves. And now they do see XXS, they're trying to make an aggressive move, but quickly.
Yeah, a little too speedy there with the phase boots. XXS out of danger. Halfway towards the Blink Dagger on this Legion.
We've got the daytime, so it's a little bit of a lull coming out from NewBee's aggression. They have the coil if they want to try to make a play around that one, but ganking Burning is a very tough issue. We'll probably see just TP reactions. Deep mid though, now the pressure comes out Q.
Yeah, trying to make a go, the two of them moving forward. There's XXS, he does have the duel if he can close the gap. Q has the Chain Frost if required, it's not needed. One more blast allows XXS to close in, get the duel, get the damage, and get out of it.
4-hero committal, but they now have the Shrine at least to heal them all the way up. Seemed like NewBee accepted that. Like as soon as the slow happens from the Lich, I didn't see a single reaction coming up from anybody on the side of them. No one on the map even changed what they were doing whatsoever.
And Baboka immediately up to top, this wave, to certainly put him very close to having the level 6 on the Monkey King. And Burning still definitely the one to be the happiest in this laning phase. Top of the net worth, a lot of farm down here. We've obviously seen KP here. We did see Faith come down for a bit of a look in.
Seeing another rotation coming out.
Yeah,
DD
got a
on XXS.
Duels
He's got
back off
duel up
cooldown in a
3
couple of seconds. This is time to go. SCCC, no way he gets out of this. The slows are too much. IG claim another. A second duel succession for XXS in very, very quick time. A couple of minutes, a couple of duels. The damage building up already.
Very quick move It was as it was coming up, so that was a 50-second move
Yeah.
that NewBee just not prepared for. So it's still daytime. They're waiting for that next night to make their next aggressive move, it seems. 'Cause they do have smoke, they have the CM like positioned as well. Maybe now they want to try to go for it soon. Since they do have darkness online as well for the Night Stalker. And they are starting to back up and meeting with each other.
Yeah, very efficient plays indeed from IG. And pretty much as you said, as soon as they hit these level 6s, these ult timings, they start to group up and get that threat working against NewBee across the map.
So they're waiting about 30 more seconds for the night before they make a big move, but they're going to probably smoke up a little bit ahead of it. They do have darkness as well if the fight starts earlier. So they could try to make a move onto Burning here, and I think that's going to be their option with the Dream Coil.
He certainly is the big target that they want to try and take down.
He's a tough kill though, and it's not really the greatest place. The lane's going to push out a bit though, so maybe that's where they look for the opportunity.
I mean, potentially with the Crippling Fear and the Waning Rift, they have enough silence. They've got the root as well from Faith to control him, but it's all about getting that initiation. And Burning already hiding in the trees. Kaka coming across, looking for the flying vision. Will get the first silence there. Have they got the control to bring him down with the ultimate? It's going to be very close, and yes, they have. KP comes in for the finisher. A very clean dive from NewBee, and one that was absolutely required. Interesting to see no response whatsoever, though, from the rest of IG. They just let Burning go there.
Yeah, both teams just as soon as the aggression happens, they accept it. And they're like, yeah, we don't want to go into like a diving thing there. There's 3 heroes there. They only have 1 already positioned. They'd have to do 2 multiple TPs, which come in succession. So 1 by 1 kind of, sometimes those feeds can happen.
We go Baboka, eyes towards mid.
Both identically place wards down at the same time.
Kaka and SCCC in his sights. Level 7 as well, so that's got that max Primal Spring slow and damage.
They're looking like
Well,
they
as
want to
we
go
all-
on Burning again. They're positioned bottom. The tower's dropping very low. It's trying to get denied up here by Burning. One
I mean,
more hit.
now that the tower is gone, they know that there's going to be no TP backup, so immediately KP closes in.
but the coil's
Dream
off
Coil's a
Mark.
bit late, and now Burning, he's got the doppelganger. Oh, he's going for the mind games there. He's doing it. Oh my God, did he actually get out of this as well now? Burning there with the illusion micro and the standstill, hold your breath and hope for the best play.
And
He
Baboka with the
sounds
chat
out.
wheel.
I think he might just make it. He can pick up a TP. Faith is still hunting for him. I mean, Burning though, he's full health.
He's alive.
He's doppelgangering across deeper into the side of NewBee. He's hanging around there. Did not pick up a TP. Just
And
standing
Top
his
the duel
ground.
comes out
And
on
indeed,
Kaka.
XXS comes in, won't get the bonus damage, but gets the kill. And Burning, he's going to be fine. At the moment, he's still he's going, in fact, deeper and deeper along the tree line.
Space created.
He's just making sure it's absolutely safe before he comes back out. But that was, I mean, to pull that sort of play off on the main stage under this sort of pressure, that just goes to show how used Burning is to this sort of high level play. Here at TI, he just keeps it cool. He pulls out sweet little moves like that. But this is a lot of time that he's hiding in the trees. We'll see it again here. Immediately, as soon as he sees Mugi come in, he doppels, heads up with the rest of the illusions and freezes, takes one away. And NewBee, they do spam ping upon him.
SCCC was pinging
SCCC
him
knew. It's like,
from across the
"Guys,
map.
come on." And now already in the mid lane,
lane.
Baboka ready to go, lays down the Wukong's command. Boundless strike as well into Kaka, not quite enough to hold him in the ult. Now turn around from SCCC, looking for the ultimate. They do drop the Dream Coil onto Baboka. KP should be able to burst him down, and he does. Baboka's gone.
So both offlaners now have Blink Daggers. KP picked one up a little bit afterwards, after XXS. XXS is so massive right now so far in this game. 6,000 net worth top of the board. We've been seeing this a lot from him playing the Legion Commander. He's been having incredibly good performances. Of course, helps that he has the Lich, but he's still been having very good games on the hero regardless. Early Hood being picked up by OP to deal with the majority of magic damage that NewBee does have for now. Sniper and the Ursa are the big physical ones.
Look at this smoke straight away into the mid lane.
SCCC.
XXS comes in with the bling. Have they got the damage to bring him down during the ult? With the move,
Oh.
be close. They get the kill. Again, no bonus damage here for XXS, but they don't care. They get that sniper out of the game. SCCC's gone. They'll put some pressure onto the mid tier 1.
Should be able to claim this one pretty easily too. Mugi's still trying to catch up on the Ursa, still being shut down. And with SCCC now being shut down, it's going to be a lot on KP and Kaka to make those moves. Make that room for their sniper, make the room for the Ursa to get online. Once the blink comes down on the Ursa, they can start making more aggressive plays and actually TP reacting to those movements. But thus, so far, IG leading about 1,000 gold lead, about 1,500 experience, so not an immense amount, but it's definitely there.
Yeah, the Midas pickup as well now. Ready to go on OP. So maintaining that lead, as you say, that they've got already. I mean, in terms of straight farming, unlikely NewBee are able to close this gap. They have to look for these fights. They have to get Mugi stuck in. As you say, they're still waiting for those very much core items, the blink and such, before they try for those plays. But definitely this sort of pace favoring IG's lineup, burning on that PL. The more space that he gets, the happier he is.
Yeah.
Diffusal Blade pretty much done. Now he himself as well can turn around in these fights and become a threat.
Already a Blade Mail on XXS too. Majority of the heroes he gets isolated will get brought down quickly by that Blade Mail. Can definitely go for some solo kills. They're spotting Kaka. But still, NewBee trying to recover, waiting for that blink on the Ursa. That's their go time to try to make plays. Because they've got the blink on the puck, but he's just trying to force lanes out as best as possible in the meantime still. But now it's daytime, and they do not have darkness. But yeah, 3 minutes for the night.
Up top, XXS and Baboka ready to go. They will come in immediately with the dual Primal Spring as well, bringing them down low. Can they finish it off? It's going to be close. They can't. Gaga will survive. Finally goes down.
Oh, Faith's ulti.
Massive. The Boundless Strike as well. Faith getting beat down upon, but the damage from Mugi is too much. Turns up there, Faith as well, getting off the ultimate, surviving on this Crystal Maiden.
They knew that play was coming too.
They did.
That was perfect by Faith. Look at the damage from the CM there. 1624 from that freezing field.
And they, as you say, they were absolutely ready because they saw with that Dire Observer Ward by the large camp towards the side, they saw XXS farming, they saw him move across, they knew that that play was going to happen. And they are more than happy losing the Night Stalker for that trade.
You know, we did talk about how they lack disable on the side of IG. This freezing field can actually have a huge participation in a lot of these engagements because it's only really the Boundless Strike and the Chain Thrust that can really stop it. You wouldn't really want your Legion Commander to be dueling a Crystal Maiden in a lot of those situations. Unless he can get the early pickoff before it happens. KP going back for the Midas, so they're trying to play that economy game. Since they do know they're playing versus a PL. They want to be able to stay ahead. I mean, it's Puck. Getting that level 25 faster is always a dream. And Mugi, quick Roche, clean up with that Blink Dagger.
No chance of IG contesting it. And Mugi sees the opening, takes advantage of it. Now IG, though, still trying to make something happen here with this smoke up. Can they get the jump? They'll look towards Kaka. They're diving this tower. We'll see if there's going to be a response. It's coming in, but already burning. Turns out will manage to seal the deal there. Dream Coil drop down onto the 3 of them on the side of it. But Boca jumping forward. Look where SCCC back up on the tree line. IG, can they still fire it? Chain Frost is out, but it does not connect with any bounces. Mugi getting nuked down low, but of course has got the Aegis. Enrage not available for 15 seconds, so they bring the Aegis out of his hands immediately.
SCCC has no shrapnel charges.
Can they actually turn the Ferrari? Focus fire is not enough. There comes the ultimate onto Faith from OP. Burning, getting out of there, earned back up. Looks like they should lose the Venos, getting blocked up by the creeps, will go down. So that will be OP out, but Faith does end up ticking down to the poison that OP managed to lay out. And all in all, I mean, that was NewBee's fight where they had the Aegis, and IG immediately take it out of their hands and get a couple of kills on top of it as well.
I didn't really see what happened with SCCC. I guess he got like zoned out on the left side of the fight because I was following the Puck on the right. He got a 3-man coil. So.
But Boca, that whole fight, just Primal sprung straight onto the sniper.
Okay, that
made sure that
makes a lot of sense
SCCC couldn't stand his ground on the high ground. Yeah.
That's the one thing that we did say is the Monkey King versus the Sniper matchup. He can always just find that Sniper and get right on top of him, which can cause quite an issue because the Sniper is a lot of the damage inside of that Dream Coil still, other than the Puck's force damage with his spells. But Boca is going for a Desolator build, it seems like, this game.
All in all, still incredibly close. Coming up to the 20-minute mark. Those Midas is certainly going to go to work for both sides, as you say, with KP having his own as well. Kaka actually on the hunt. He's on his own, does drop a deep ward down here for the side of NewBee.
They're both stalking each other. This is funny. Kaka has the vision advantage, though, by a tiny bit here. So Boca does not know this is happening. Just sapping some experience, though.
Very hard, really, for Kaka to do anything on his own, though, even with the medallion.
He doesn't want to get his ward killed. Like, if he goes and makes an aggressive play there, like takes the Centaur or something, that ward gets killed, and then that's not worth it whatsoever. Having ward vision is much more valuable than making some little cheeky pressure play. We do see Kaka change the build up. He had solo pressure, but oh, bottom tries to make the Mayhem Boca, but he's too fast.
Charges his way out of that. Indeed, Mugi quite Got enough on his own to hold him down. Kaka's still in the neighborhood though.
It's going for the Aghanims this game, so the vision is very important in this one to find where the Monkey King's hiding and also find the real PL can be extremely useful. So instead of going for Solar, he's rushing up that Aghanims on Night Stalker. And NewBee's now just chilling back, farming. They feel pretty content with what's going on, just waiting for IG to step up. Pace of the game is good for NewBee.
Maelstrom now complete on S-Triple-C, so stepping up the answers for this burning illusion army on the Phantom Lancer. As that with the Dragon Lance, and as we can see, you know, again, this is one of those games. Burning, in fact, as this has all gone down, is slightly behind the other cores on the field now. And Midas enough to set OP ahead on this Venomancer, and just the speed that the KP's farming up as well with his own second highest. I mean, this is an incredibly rich puck. He's going to be well on his way to the Lincoln Sphere. Just 21 minutes into this game, top of the phase and the blink.
Yeah, top 2 net worth. They're distributing their resources a little, like NewBee is distributing mostly on 3 heroes. Night Stalker's farming a little bit, but mostly running around just collecting bounty runes. While we see IG, they have a lot more heroes just straight up farming. Baboka's farming, OP's farming, XSS is farming, and Burning's farming. So it is limiting a little bit of how they can all have their wealth spread out. Baboka now playing a little bit more of just running around and getting vision though for the time being. And just hopping between the trees.
Yeah, just trying to get at least that first Mithril Hammer in hand before he goes for anything too crazy. He's very close to the 1600 he needs. And once he has that Deso, the Wukong's command in the team fight becomes pretty scary for NewBee.
Yeah.
If they get caught amidst it all.
Dire's bottom tower is
I
under
mean, that
attack.
Deso on Baboka and then the damage from this Diffusal Blade PL certainly adds up.
Yeah, if they can get on top of the sniper, he has no save mechanic just yet. He's building now for the Hurricane Pike, which is extremely needed for him to get away from both those heroes. But the other heroes, not as susceptible to that Monkey King Wukong command, being naturally high armor, the Ursa and the Night Stalker. Puck able to, of course, just kind of jump away.
Again, a lot of calm between both sides here at this stage. As we've mentioned, a lot of them very close to these bigger items. Mugi just finishing off the Diffusal Blade.
Yeah, even during like during the nighttime and everything, they're just like, whatever, we're just gonna farm. We're gonna get our Aghanims on our Night Stalker. We're gonna get like the other couple items picked up on our other heroes, and then just play from there. The important one though is definitely the Aghs Night Stalker for NewBee, because a lot of these engagements, it's all about who gets the vision. We talk about it so much in Dota. We do it for a reason, because that is what dictates who's gonna win majority of those fights.
Now going to see towards bottom, a bit of smoke movement now from NewBee, looking to break the calm. They get a jump with the Diffusal Blade there, and they've got a huge amount of catch. Baboka in the neighborhood at the moment, the smoke will be dispelled. They know he's in the neighborhood. Can he play his way out of this? Primal springs it out, and now
And
the
he
edge jumps out of the Dream Coil. Now goes forward again. They had the focus fire upon him, but Baboka, I think he's going to get out again with these jumps.
Oh, he gets a tree cut.
Finally, indeed, they get him, cut him down. But now the reaction comes through from IG. The Chain Frost is out, but KP quick with the blink. Will get out of there, and it looks like NewBee will be able to successfully disengage and get that kill as well, despite Baboka making them chase incredibly deep for it.
That was it almost got scary. He almost got to a distance where they were gonna get turned around on, but KP with that quick blink out, him being the one who made the furthest commitment on the puck, since he knows he has a save mechanic for himself.
Little plays like that certainly do start to edge your side ahead.
Yeah, they're starting to pull a decent amount ahead. It's only 2K, but it's the heroes that do have the net worth, and the 3 most important ones. The CM, CM will naturally get items through like team fights and stuff. She doesn't need to farm too like crazy. She'll get a couple creeps, but she's mostly just the warder.
Now it's IG's turn to make something happen. Smoke up. Undetected as well. No deep wards at the moment from NewBee over at IG's side of the map.
Smoking as soon as it hits daytime, so trying to make that aggressive play onto Mugi.
There's Mugi. Oh,
the blink at the same
with
time.
That blink!
That's a little bit of a fortunate scenario right there.
Absolutely. I mean, that felt like it was at the same frame.
I don't think he got visioned for a quick second.
Did the
ward
smoke
there,
quite dispel when he came forward?
I don't think so. It was very close.
Very close.
That looked like it was just like, I finished the creep and I'm blinking out to be...
I mean, either way, lightning reactions there from Mugi.
Full Lincolns now, finished up on KP. Very hard to get brought down. They actually don't really have It's just the duel. They have like Lance to kind of break
Oh,
in.
we'll see it again
So
here,
when I
Paul.
see the Lance, does he get
I
it?
don't think the smoke. Oh, it did.
Oh, he does get a
it
quick
did.
glimpse.
Okay.
Okay, yep.
He was ready. He was
Yeah.
out of there. Mugi knew. Played it calm, played it cool.
Ooh.
I mean, IG obviously in turn should now know that that area does have the vision.
So Burning now going for that heart, it looks like. Since we were saying they don't really have great ways of dealing with illusions, he's just trying to buff them up as much as possible. But that doesn't accelerate his farm too much faster. It's just the diffusal blade to make him farm. So he will definitely start getting slower, lower, behind more and more than the sniper. The sniper's got Maelstrom to push waves out faster. Kaka, Aghanims is now finished up on Night Stalker already. So they will be able to take fights on their own accord.
I mean, as you've been saying, definitely out of all the items, that seems to be the biggest one at
Yep.
this stage, to have it pre-30 minutes and against this sort of lineup that IG are playing with.
Yeah, IG's trying to like avoid fights and take these fights whenever NewBee messes up and maybe misses an ultimate. But now with that Night Stalker Aghanims, it makes it a lot easier for NewBee to pick and choose their fights. BKB finished up now on XXS, so he's gonna at least have that way to just beeline into the back line at all times, not have to worry about the Dream Coil or any of the follow-up spells. Smoke now comes out. As soon as that Aghs is finished up, we've got 45 seconds till nighttime, but he does have darkness available if the fight does happen.
And they know that they can play with this huge vision advantage.
Did they pick up a GM by chance? No, not yet, okay. But they did see that one ward that was placed right there, because they saw with the sentry while they were smoking past.
Already. IG out of there, Baboka as well. TP's out from the tree line, so NewBee unsuccessful with the darkness usage.
Deso now finished up for Baboka too. Sells the poor man's shield, finishes it up. So his damage is pretty strong in team fights now if he's able to get the Wukongs off in a good place.
Yeah.
Still susceptible to
everyone
magic
gets-
damage, the Monkey
Yes.
King though. Very susceptible to it.
And there's certainly a fair bit of that on
Yeah.
the side of NewBee, especially with that Maelstrom coming into play as well from SCCC. I'm going to see Kaka fairly deep, just get a ward down. It's going to be a TP in fact, from Burning. Don't think he quite caught vision there of the Night Stalker, just out of range into the cover of the night around the trees.
Yep. Just porting up to finish up that heart. Almost 3,000 health up on the PL, but pretty immobile. Doesn't have a Yasha, doesn't have upgraded boots, so 335 movement speed on that Phantom Lancer to make moves around the map. Gonna be going for probably boots of travel next.
And everyone's certainly getting their big items, so when we do see them clash, they certainly are going to clash incredibly heavily.
This is gonna be a real, that fight that does happen is gonna be massive. It's been quite a low period for us.
Baboka will get Dream Coil. Kaka and KP have eyes upon him. He's going to try and turn. They do have the jewel. Baboka finally goes down, but XXS will secure the jewel in return as they take down Kaka. More damage for the Legion. Just the supports being traded off here between both sides.
Probably see the big clash happen around the Roche, right? Yeah, they're already making their move to start it.
Without the Night Stalker and his vision, this of course going to be a nice window of opportunity for IG to head into that pit and go for it. KP will be spotted out on the high ground by that newly placed ward by Q.
IG doesn't take it super fast, but they're trying to commit for it pretty hard here. NewBee is responding. Shrapnel start coming out, very obnoxious.
It's going to make it hard. This is, as you said, this is not easy for IG to just walk in and take, to the point where they may even just have to back off. Baboka's back in, but 5 seconds. Kaka's going to be back on the Night Stalker.
Boka might set up on bottom, yeah.
He's looking for it. Poundless strike into the Primal Spring. Looking for the chase down, past the ultimate, ready to fight Mugi. Mugi just goes to the enrage. The TP out. We talked about the lack of disable. We're seeing it here. Straight out, back to safety.
Super, that's a perfect decision to do that there, rather than trying to man fight.
Definitely something that's going to become an issue. To the point where I wonder if we start seeing any of IG's members maybe pick up a Yule Scepter, just something else to have that interrupt.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we could start seeing this happen over and over again at this stage with this lack of lockdown.
Doesn't look like any of them are. I don't really know who would build it either. That's what
True.
I'm trying to think. It's like, you don't want Baboka, of course. You don't want OP. You want him to get bigger scaling items. I guess the Lich eventually, but that one also is kind of moot because Lich, like we said, very mobile hero. Can't really get to those type of situations a lot of the time.
As we'll see, IG won't necessarily be able to take Roshan, but with the Plague Ward in, they themselves can make it very hard for NewBee to step in, even though NewBee do have a lot better potential to bringing it down. SCCC very close to having the full-out Miona if he wishes.
Radiant's bottom
Kaka's in
tower
very
is
deep.
under
Does
attack.
see Baboka there.
Does also have the backup of Mugi. They're going to jump in straight away, cut down the tree, and Baboka's gone. 2 TP's coming in. We'll see what they can do. Response, jump forward. They get the duel. OP and XXS going in and catching out Mugi. This time, no TP out for the big old bear. The trade will occur. IG again
Burning was trying to catch Kaka there.
with the preferred trade. Getting Mugi down. And this is, especially in this game where things have slowed down, Mugi can't let those sort of kills, a bit of a bait, get the better of him. He can't afford to dive these towers when IG are going to be more than ready to react.
But that is the thing, though. They are just forcing. IG is just reacting. IG is not making any of the aggressive plays because of their lanes. They're having trouble keeping these lanes pushed out properly versus the side of NewBee. The puck just instantly kills 2 waves. Sniper kills waves super fast now at this point with the Maelstrom. And for IG, it's no one who really just instantly nukes a wave down. It's the Legion Commander who has overwhelming odds, which is okay, but PL takes a couple of seconds to bring it down. Same thing with the Venomancer. So NewBee is just constantly shoving lanes into them, and with that, they get more information off of the map from it.
I mean, this puck, KP is going to be incredibly off the charts. I mean, he's already at the top spot.
Level 21
The levels
too.
as well. This is going to be a very, very quick level 25 at this pace.
But look, he's level 21 on the puck in comparison to a Venomancer who's level 21 with the Midas, who gets a 30% experience gain talent.
And then everyone else is level 18 or below.
Yeah, that's super significant. And I mean, he's farming up a storm. 262 CS on the puck. I'd imagine to be one of the highest. I haven't checked in a second. Yeah, top 2.
Look at this though, IG back into the pit. They've got the double damage on XXS this time, helping them
cheese.
speed it up.
And
NewBee,
they've got darkness for the for Kaka to get the vision in there.
here we go, they are ready to contest there. The shrapnel up, but already it's falling down low. They've got to make a move quick, but there's a dream core, but it's already picked up. Burning will grab the Aegis. Poison Nova comes down, it's massive, but Mugi with the BKB, and the Enrage turning towards OP. The Chain Frost bouncing around, the Priest down fade. Burning gets the cheese off, keeps himself alive, turns towards SCCC, but IG, they have lost 3. They will finally lose a second on the side of NewBee, but it looks like they may be able to bring down Burning.
Burning versus the world here.
He's got the Aegis. As we say, he's already eaten the cheese. Kaka now out of mana. The illusion's going to work. Medallion upon him. Mugi very, very low. Doppelganger there. Jump back up to the high ground. KP looking to close the gap. Burst Burning down once. Can they kill him a second time? Doesn't look like they can. They're out of mana, so they will back up. But indeed, the whole of IG being brought down around Burning. Aegis out of his hands as well. So NewBee, they don't get the Aegis or the Roche, but they have an incredibly successful fight there.
Yeah, KP gets a beautiful Dream Coil. Gets like 3 heroes there. SCCC just standing in the back lines, dominating them until Burning gets that cheese off and is able to isolate him in the corner.
We'll see it again here. This immediate panic as soon as KP jumped in. As IG, they lose the Lich. He does get the Chain Frost out, which allows them to get Faith. But again, Mugi with this BKB, with the Enrage, meaning this duel from XXS just does not result in the way that he would have hoped.
Yeah, and the really important thing is too is the way that Kaka followed up in that fight again. It goes straight in beelines for Baboka right after the Dream Coil Silence come out, and Baboka dies without getting any spells off. So that's the big game changer there. If Baboka gets Boundless Strike off or is able to close the distance onto the Sniper, gets a Wukong command out, we could see a completely different engagement happening. But again, Kaka and KP stepping it up in the engagement.
They really are. How's the levels on the puck looking after that one? It's got to
23.
have a bit of a bump up, and indeed, yeah, 23 now.
Almost
KP.
about to have a full Shivas too. That's going to be incredibly useful versus the PL and versus the Legion Commander, and just also for the Vision game.
NewBee now starting to create this lead. 5k gold ahead at the side of IG, as it is making a sure and steady trail off away from IG's lineup. NewBee taking the lead in this game. Burning on top of the heart. He's got 2.1k gold. We'll see where he does want to head next with his build. But the farm game and the pace of it all certainly seeming to be favoring that of NewBee. We'll see what IG's move is going to be next to try and slow things down. They will not have that Aegis or cheese, of course, to rely on. I mean, we may see another sort of static position of the game now until Roshan is back up.
Until they get a couple of those big items picked up, right? With the Night Stalker's going for BKB, relatively close to it. I think NewBee's a little bit more relaxed on not making the plays in comparison. And just saw Gem picked up, I'm pretty sure, by NewBee? Yeah, so they're going to be able to put that one on the Night Stalker, clear out all the vision on the side of, from the side of IG. It's always the nice thing. You're playing a 5 support, like a CM. When you have a Night Stalker in your team, it's a dream to buy that Gem.
Yeah, it's going to be in very safe hands, and indeed just give you so much map control.
So, cool build by Burning. This is a really good choice in my opinion, getting that Blink Dagger. Like we said, the most important thing for him to do is isolate the sniper. Get on top of him. What allows you to do that is a Blink Dagger. So the sniper still definitely suffers versus those illusions a bit, but now actually finishes up the Mjolnir, so that will help a lot versus Burning from his SCCC. And also gets level 20. This is something that maybe isn't so significant, but that 8 armor can actually really help the sniper with that collapse from the Monkey King and from the Phantom Lancer.
Absolutely.
So a cool choice coming up from SCCC. We
They
usually
are
see
on
the
the
cooldown
hunt here for
reduction.
Kaka here on the sidelines. He's going to go for the TP out. They do have the duel available. In fact, they'll throw the Chain Frost down as well. Make sure there's no chance for the TP away.
Thankfully, he didn't have the gem on him.
Radiant's bottom tower.
I believe it was still on the courier. And KP's able to at least claim that bottom tower and surge himself further and further into that top net worth spot. Now going to be building toward those Daggons since he takes the spell amplification talent.
And of course, a great game as well to give Moon Shards to the rest of his cores.
Yeah.
SCCC and Mugi. Sniper, Ursa, 2 heroes that greatly benefit from that attack speed buff.
And they have Night Stalker with the darkness, so that night vision will...
Yeah.
I mean, it won't be massive, but it can play a little bit of a part.
The Shiva's Guard now finished upon OP on the Venomancer.
Very
One on
tanky.
lane, KP, make a bit of a jump in, Burning quick with the Doppelganger to not leave himself vulnerable. IG now looking for the counterplay, actually, coming in from the mid lane with this smoke.
Yeah, like we kind of thought, IG's going to be ones trying to make the play first. They also have vision right now on the map, so they want to take advantage of while that's still there. They see Faith in the back.
You may want something bigger than just the CM. I mean, Mugi make the jump back. They'll drop the scan in the tree line, but IG doesn't look like they'll find anyone straight away. KP, the only one left down here, as IG will start to sweep a little higher up onto the high ground of NewBee. They get towards the shrine, but
That map awareness by NewBee.
NewBee are absolutely aware of this. Not letting themselves get caught out at all.
Lanes are,
Smoke wears off, but IG find nothing.
yeah, lanes are starting to push in a bit, so they're aware of this going on. And now the TPs start coming out. This is where they want to play. They have the better heroes to react versus IG's aggression.
Is under attack.
NewBee are more than happy to fight if IG want to bring it, but it looks like IG, indeed, if they don't get the surprise jump, they don't just want to walk up and try and get a 5v5. NewBee pounce forward immediately, see if they can get anyone on the retreat. But already IG very, very far back. Both Baboka and Q a little close, but KP and Kaka will head elsewhere. So IG do escape. But as we're seeing a lot of respect from IG for the teamfight potential of NewBee. They know that they can only really get away with a 5v5 if they can get in, if they can take at least one of NewBee's members down at the start.
Yeah, it's just really hard. Just the way that NewBee keeps forcing the lanes out constantly. And with Kaka just running around with that gem, now looking for all those wards, it's going to start taking out the little vision that IG does have. And during all this too, it's, you know, we were talking about XXS having an incredibly good Legion game, having incredibly good games in like the recent past that he's been playing it. But this game, with the pace of the game being slowed down so much, he's not a hero that really farms like super fast. Sure, he farms neutrals well, but there's not enough farm for them on the map. So he is falling further and further behind, and Night Stalker is catching up to him. Full BKB finished up on Kaka, so he also can do the same thing that we were talking about with the BKB on the LC. He can just beeline toward that back line, find those supports.
Burning, top of the blink. Let's go the Yasha, looking towards the butterfly. BKB now done for SCCC. So, I mean, we talked about it before, you know, Burning wanting to look to jump on the sniper on the back lines. Now, it's not a guaranteed kill at all. SCCC can certainly outlive it, and he can certainly fight back with the damage that he's putting out with that Mjolnir.
Yeah, every little thing adds up, right? The Mjolnir shield, the BKB magic immunity to not deal with the mana burn, and then, you know, Hurricane Pike plus the 8 armor talent. Every little thing starts to add up versus that Phantom Lancer.
And all in all, now an 8k gold lead. It really does seem that overall, this farm time favoring that of NewBee.
Yep. 40-minute mark hits. We've got double runes now starting to spawn. So map control becoming increasingly more important as the game goes on.
And KP just casually sitting with 4.2k gold in the bank, start to work towards that Dagon and scaling it up when he wishes.
Almost level 25 too. Very close. Are there any tomes? Where's the tome? He buys
Nice
it.
buy.
There we go.
There we go.
Perfect. So it's going to have level 25 for that GPM to start making him rich.
That's level 25 Buck, 40 minutes in, top of the net worth. Absolutely ridiculous. KP. I mean, we said at the start we felt that he would have a pretty free game, and he's shown us that that's exactly been the case.
Well, yeah, we were saying he will and he has to, because it's super important for NewBee to have a good game, and he's absolutely doing that and more.
0-9. Not missing any chance to keep that farm going. Very little time wasted from him as well around the map, even when they've looked for these movements in the early stages.
Yep. NewBee just still very content with chilling back, waiting for that next Rosh. Like you said, we're probably going to have that lull period until that next Roshan spawns. But
how long are we looking at on the Roshan time? It's pretty close, wasn't it?
About, yeah, a minute and a half or so.
A minute and a half. Okay, so this could be pretty impactful if NewBee can find a big team fight here to keep the edge. They're smoking up.
NewBee's trying to claim the high ground here. They're going to be able to. XXS is also trying to Shadow Blade in and find an opportunity.
Need the scan going to connect, so...
Oh, NewBee's getting a really good wrap around here.
This
They're
could be
seeing
a perfect
heroes
setup
too.
for KP. We'll see how he finds the jump in. Oh, there's the Shiva's Guard immediately on Topi. The silence is there. That's the Venom gone. Venomancer out of the fight. BKB and Enrage popped by Mugi. He'll move towards Baboka. Baboka tries to get off the Wukong's command, but he gets bashed up. Taken down. That's a second gone. There's going to be a buyback from OP trying to get himself back in the fight. They do indeed take down the sniper. Mugi now found the Enrage going for the TP out. He will make it as they have no cancel. But indeed, that's SCCC now. Faith as well to fall. They did have to buy back on OP. So this crucial moment around that Roche respawning, I believe SCCC will be back around the same time that Roshan's there.
Yeah, it's 35 seconds for Roche, and he's going to be dead a little bit longer than it, but 30 seconds, don't know if they'll be able to spot it out right away. They're trying to get their siege, though. They're trying to force something while the Venomancer use their buyback. The sniper's dead.
But look at bottom lane. NewBee straight away going for a bit of a split push. It is just a puck and a Night Stalker. Not quite the same amount of punch that IG have, but it's enough to force out a fortification. In fact, force out a reaction. Burning goes back, goes immediately onto Kaka. Kaka with the BKB TP out will make it. No hold to keep him back.
That's perfect, though, by NewBee. That's exactly what they wanted to do. Threaten for themselves to force a reaction so Sniper has time to respawn, and now they'll be able to contest the Roche when it is up. And the Night Stalker does have a decent amount of damage, and she went for the damage talent as well. So being able, when those split pushing occasions do happen, you can do some stuff.
We'll see it again at the start. I mean, the perfect way to begin, really, taking out the Venom before he gets out a single spell.
But look at XXS here. Gets silenced up. We're going to keep eyes on him. We see Baboka getting killed over there, but instantly blinks in, finds SCCC, isolates him, and bam, gets killed pretty much by himself.
And such a big kill to get as well. Bringing down that sniper. And again, we're seeing that these TPs out in the middle of the team fights. It's going to show how NewBee can still get away with those sort of escapes. Now,
Kaka breaks the smoke. Boundless Strike off the mark.
And Kaka's just going to flap his way out of there. They need that Boundless Strike to connect.
And they both know Roche is up now.
He's going to make the first jump.
Abyssal soon going to be picked up
rune
by
as
Mugi.
well.
And a DD, yep.
Oh, that's tasty. Mugi nearly level 25 as well on this Ursa.
We've got Burning actually went for the Basher. I think he was going for the Butterfly initially, so switched up the build a bit. And going for the Manta as well.
Definitely required.
So he can strike and stand
XXS is coming into this, but hey, they've got vision on it. Straight away with the silence. Now SCCC turning towards him. Mugi jumps forward, but the BKB comes out.
Burning
XXS
commits.
is out of there. Jump forward from Burning.
Oh, Burning gets bashed up.
Mugi just destroys him. Burning disappears in a couple of seconds. KP already jumping in on the back lines. IG's trying to run out of there, but NewBee with the chase down. Mugi has the diffuser blade, takes down Q. That's going to be the gem on the deck. As IG are forced back, and indeed that
should be the Roche here.
Forward from Burning.
It's really hard to contest this Roche. I mean, they have an Ursa.
There's no way, unless they want to commit the buybacks.
I don't think there's any way. Ursa now about to be having the Abyssal Blade finished up on top of this Aegis Cheese now too. All the level 25 starting to hit the deck too for NewBee. They have the Ursa and the Puck, almost a sniper too.
12k gold lead. IG suffering in these last few engagements.
And now double gem too, so losing their gem is going to hinder their map control even more, as it's been majority NewBee favored in a lot of this game.
It's going to come down to how good the high ground defense is here from IG. I mean, when they have their ultimates available, they have got potential. But at the same time, I mean, the way that NewBee's playing, they can just definitely have sort of either Mugi, Kaka, or KP just close the gap onto some of IG's heroes, get right in their faces,
We've got the 3x Plague Wards right now defending that high ground, so it is pretty hard to push, but 45-minute wave. This is the double catapult wave that we do see a lot of teams take advantage of.
XXS is going for this here, but the Enrage is already out. This bear is going to easily take down this Legion in the fight. SCCC as well, peeping in for the sidelines. XXS is gone, but Boku comes in with the BKB. The Wukong's command turns around with the Balance Strike, getting himself up to the high ground. Is doing a lot of work this tournament, now forcing NewBee back. Fave goes for the freezing field, but he gets taken down by OP. IG, can they get anything more? Chain Frost out onto SCCC, bouncing around the crease as well. Mugi pops the cheese, back up to full health. SCCC turning with the shrapnel, burning, moving forward with the large doppelgangers forward onto SCCC, looking for the sniper. Can he quite get it? He can. SCCC's down once, has the Aegis ready for round 2, but the rest of IG being picked up on the backlines. KP jumping forward, looking for Bernie, has one more doppelganger up to the high ground. Ice armor upon him as well. OP looks to hold the back, but the assassinate from SCCC snipes down Burning. Burning will buy back, but even after this long drawn out fight, NewBee still keeping the edge above IG. Buyback as well from Q. Burning jumping forward, trying to make something happen again.
Get silenced though.
The match is gone! Burning down for 110 seconds!
The instant silence from Kaka there, that Aghanim's vision allowing him to be able to get that right away onto the PL with no Manta style, unable to remove it. And that should just be the game here without
That
Burning.
is a lot of time without the PL. Can IG really do anything without Burning? Dream calls down onto 2. NewBee moving in team. They go straight in onto OP. OP, he's gone as well. 2 minutes down on the Veno. Q trying to make his way back to base. Will survive. NewBee will look to make sure they do get the objectives. There is still a tier 2 up on the top lane, but with both of the cores down, they could try and go for the game if they wish. We'll see how safe they want to play it. The Monkey King is back up. XXS, Invis at the moment, looking for the jump with the BKB, goes straight in, he gets the beat again, the Enrage is there! Chain Frost comes out though, it's going to do a lot from Q, bouncing around with the Dagon, comes out from KP, Momoka with a Balance Strike, the Wukong's command, takes out one, gets Faith as well, they're holding somehow, KP though, burst down Q on the Lich, it's only Momoka left, KP and Mugi jump back in onto Momoka, GG is called, NewBee take game 1.
Damn well played by NewBee in this game. But
Very
they did
well
have
played.
a lot of the map control going for them a lot of the ways just because of KP and Kaka. Again, these two players have been owning at this tournament.
I mean, it was pretty much the top of the net worth that whole game, and that last fight there, we saw just every time he was on the back line, silencing up these supports, making it very hard for IG to get any of these ultimates out.
Yeah, in 2 of the crucial fights, that's exactly what happened. He runs in, gets the silence on the Monkey King. There's no Wukong's command. They don't have that follow-up for the team fight. And then Mugi also, though, with those split-second reactions in multiple situations, that blink, the 2 Enrages there before the duel comes out, everybody on NewBee really playing incredibly well.
Absolutely, and we saw then at the end, even though Burning had a lot of farm in this PL, but one silence, one bash, and suddenly the amount of single target damage that they could just boost out on the side of NewBee, it was too much for even this PL with heart and such to survive.
This puck just did so much work. And we've been seeing NewBee picking it first too in the majority of their games, and this is an exact example why.
Yeah. And it really did feel like that whole sort of slowdown in the middle of the game, it was favoring NewBee. They climbed themselves ahead, and indeed that last siege down on the bottom, incredibly impressive, keeping their cool, whilst IG did indeed start to fall apart. But that's it for game 1 as NewBee take the lead.